Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time visiting here, then a big hello. Don't forget to hit that subscribe. Now you can probably tell by the object behind me and the title of this video. This class today is for those looking for a post-cycle stretch. So you may be feeling tightness across your shoulders, in your legs, your ankles, your wrists, your back. If that is you guys, come and roll out your mat. If you have 2 bricks and a strap handy, go and grab them. They are not essential for the practice, but if you've got them, bring them over, or you could bring 2 books maybe, or a rolled up towel. Hop into something comfortable and I will be waiting over here. So beginning today's practice in a wide child's pose. So let's just separate the knees a little wider than the hips. Allow the big toes to touch and then slide those hips back in towards the heels. We can stretch out long through the arms and maybe just bring that forehead towards the earth or onto a brick if you have one handy there. Feeling this yummy stretch for down the quads. Just breathe in here. Big breaths in through the nose and then deep, long exhalations. And if you can walk those hips back a little more, have a little play around there, maybe you need a little wriggle around. And just make a little effort to relax the forearms now down to the earth. And then begin to lift all the way up into tabletop. So bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, and we'll cat-cow through the spine. So slide those knees underneath the hips. Let's inhale as we drop the belly, look forward, and then exhale. Begin to push the floor away. Tuck the tailbone under, chin to chest. Really stretch and dome through the upper back. Inhale, drop the belly, the tailbone will lift. Gaze forward and maybe just slightly up, just to really drop into the upper back. And then take a breath out, push the floor, and let's dome through. And we'll do that one more time. Nice soft belly. Belly button falls all the way down towards the earth. Look forward and maybe slightly gaze up just to get deeper there. And then push the floor. Breathing out, doming through the upper back. And then bring the spine all the way back into that neutral pose. And then we're going to turn the fingertips towards the longer edges of your mat. And then just slightly rock from side to side. So you might be feeling after that ride that your wrists and hands are feeling fatigued. They maybe just need a little stretch. Mindfully just pushing out side to side. If it feels comfortable to turn the fingertips towards the knees, turn the fingertips towards the knees, and you may need to do that just one at a time. Hold in there, feeling that stretch at the back of the wrists. And let's mindfully turn the hands all the way back to center. Create fists and ground those fists into the earth and trace circles with your shoulders. And then going around the other way. Wonderful. Flatten out the hands again. Let's move into the shoulders and the back. Inhale, raise the right arm all the way up. Big stretch. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then floss this right arm under. Relaxing the shoulder down. Relaxing the head. So we're going to walk this left hand all the way up towards the top of the mat. Keep the palm lifted away from the mat. And see if you can gaze underneath the armpit. For a little more stretch now for across the chest and around the shoulder, begin to lift this left arm all the way up towards the sky. And then we're going to bind this left arm around the back. Just watch this top shoulder as we lift it all the way up. Really stretch now. Remembering to breathe. And then stack that arm again up towards the sky. Place the hand down. Let's lift it up. Other side. Inhale, opposite arm up. Exhale, floss through, relax the shoulder down. And then walk the fingertips up towards the top of the mat. Keep the palm off the mat. Push it out of the fingertips. Maybe you can gaze underneath the armpit. And then begin to lift that right arm all the way up towards the sky. Let's bind the arm around the back. Maybe your fingertips can just lace on top of the opposite thigh. And then watch the shoulder, we lift it up. And then fingertips up to the sky, pressing back up into tabletop pose. So from here, we are going to bring the knees together, feet come together, press the hips back in towards the heels and slide both hands over towards the left. Now the right hand will come in towards the face as the left cheek will drop down. And then take that right hand all the way up to the top of the mat. We'll do the other side. Now this side will feel a little bit more intense. The right cheek will fall down. Gaze towards the left hand. Really getting into those lats. And then both hands out in front. Walk them over the other way. So keep the right hand stretching forward. Right cheek will come down. Left hand in front of the face. Lots of left and rights to remember there. So now let's intensify that. Both hands out straight. Now this time, left cheek comes down, right hand in front of the face. Really stretching there into the lats. And then back to center, walking the hands back out in front, separating the knees. I'm going to find a downward facing dog, curling the toes under, lifting the bottom up towards the sky. And if those legs feel tight today, you can keep a nice buoyancy bend in at the knees. Or you can work on straightening the legs out, drawing the heels down towards the earth, and you're really going to feel a nice yummy stretch down the calves into the Achilles. And then let's begin to pedal. Pedal the bike, pedal it out, lower one heel down and then the other. Making a little effort to push the chest back towards the thighs, armpits back towards the knees. Nod, shake the head, release out any tension. You can release out tension through the mouth with a long sigh, and then softly land those knees down towards the earth. Take the hands towards the top of the mat and begin to melt the thigh bones down. So from here, bring forearms out in front, and we are going to create a shoelace with our arms. So we'll cross the left arm over the right. See if we can really cross that over. Tuck the chin in towards the chest. So stretching at the top of the shoulders. Across the trapezius. And then we will slowly lift up. We'll cross the arms over the other way. And then begin to walk those hands out in front and lower the chest down. So bring in the left arm out in line with the shoulder. The right hand stays firmly onto the mat, and we'll bring the left cheek down. So left arm out, left cheek down. Begin to hop this right foot over the left leg, lifting that knee up towards the sky. And a nice shoulder stretch again. The more in line your arm is with your shoulder, the deeper the stretch. And then coming back to center, switching over, opposite arm out. Right cheek down, and we'll find that lift and that stretch. So as you open this top knee up towards the sky, it will rotate you into your shoulder stretch a little deeper if that's what you want today. And then coming back onto the belly, hands underneath the shoulders, and let's lift that back out in a downward facing dog. And then begin to softly drop those knees down. And we'll take the left leg back. So taking the left leg all the way back, we are just going to have a little roll around on this left foot. So again, this requires you to be mindful of how the ankle and the feet are feeling. Going around the other way. And then creating a little spring as you imagine that there is a wall behind this left heel, and just pulse your heel back against that imaginary wall. And now stepping that left foot to the outer edge of the left hand, curling the back toes under, hovering the back knee, and then begin to melt the thigh bone all the way back down. If you have got 2 books handy or 2 bricks, you can place your hands onto the bricks for extra support, or you can have the hands down. So entering into a nice stretch for the hip and the hip flexor, which can often be really tight after a cycle. And from here we will heel toe this left foot now into the center of the mat, frame the front foot. Again, you can use 2 books, anything that you can grab hold of, place the hands onto the bricks for that support. Squeeze through the inner thighs and just raise both arms up. And then we will place both hands down. Again, right hand can come to a brick or a book. Left arm sweeps all the way up towards the sky. Hold it out there. Wonderful, and then square the shoulders back off again. Use 2 bricks for support this time for this neck stretch, for a nice stretch for the hamstrings. You're really going to feel this bite in the hamstring, especially if your hamstrings are tight from your cycle. So send in the hips all the way back, begin to extend out this left leg. You can walk the bricks back, or your books, whatever you are using. You can go a little higher, or if there's room, you can place the hands down. Keep the hips off that back heel. One last big breath in. Exhale. Begin to enter back into your low lunge. And we will take that back in a downward facing dog. So pushing it all the way back. Re-pedal out. So pedal the bike. And then sliding both knees down. We're going to do that on the other side. So right leg back. And then mindfully roll around on this right foot. Find some mobility there for the ankle. Going around the other way. Find your heel back against that imaginary wall, begin to pulse. And then off we go into our lizard stretch, bringing the right foot outer edge of the right hand. And obviously to really stretch out into this left hip flexor. Maybe you want to just curl the toes under and extend the leg back a little more if it's available, if there's room there. And remember, both sides may feel completely different, and that's okay. So as you hold out here in this lizard stretch, you have your supports with you. And let's heel toe this foot now into the center of the mat. Let's find that low lunge. Squeeze through the inner thighs, press into this front foot, begin to raise both arms up. Moving the hands back down towards the earth. And now this time, raise the right arm up. So essentially there, you're twisting towards your knee. Placing that hand down and finding that hamstring stretch. Grab those bricks if you need them. Extend out through the front leg. Bowing over this right side. Swinging both hips towards the top of the mat. And pulling those toes back towards you. Well done, lovely. Come forwards back into your lunge. Curl the back toes under and pedal your bike in a downward facing dog. Begin to bend the knees, look towards the top of your mat and walk your feet all the way underneath your hips. By all means, if those hammies are really tight and a little sore after that post-stretch, post-ride even, post-stretch, you're doing your post-stretch. So after your post-ride, if your hamstrings are feeling tight and fatigue, use your bricks for this forward fold. You can also bend the knees. Let the head hang heavy. We can sway from side to side, pressing out into both feet. You can work on straightening the legs if that is available. Nod the head, shake the head, find some buoyancy there. Decompress that lower back by bending the knees, having a little playful moment in your standing fold. And then when you are ready, bend the knees, press into both feet. Inhale, raise both arms up, big stretch. Exhale, bring the hands all the way down. So let's take the legs out wide. So taking the legs out wide, and again you may need one of your bricks, just place that out in front of you. Tracking the heels towards the back of the mat, the toes will come forwards. Let's take this nice and mindfully together, checking in with how the body feels. Breathe in, grow tall. As you exhale, hips slide back, pressing into all four corners of both feet. And then checking in where the hands would like to land, whether that's to the brick or to the mat. Checking in if your hamstrings are asking your knees to bend, or maybe they need a deep, deep stretch there and you've got that room to straighten them both out. Again, we can rock from side to side, we can stay with stillness. And then when you are ready, begin to heel toe the feet in just a couple of times. And then leave the heels turned in, toes point out as we drop the tailbone down into a Malasana squat. Use your triceps, pull the knees apart. Option to keep your hands down onto a brick, or you can even place your bricks or your books underneath both heels and be here. Lots of options if you are tight after that cycle. And then when you are ready, placing the hands down and coming on to your bottom. Well done. Okay, so let's take this into a supine pigeon stretch for your outer hips and your glutes. Let's stack the right ankle above the left knee. Bring the legs in towards you. And then lace the hands at the back of the right leg, or if you can grab the shin, grab the shin. Lovely, and then we will release this. From here we're going to extend this top leg up towards the sky, or if you've got your your strap, you can use your strap or towel as support and extend out through that left leg. If it feels comfortable for the back to scissor the legs, we will scissor the legs. Bending that right knee up towards the sky, release both legs. Let's switch that over. The legs will come in. And we can even place the fingertips in front of the shin, so we're now stretching the opposite side. Wonderful. And then moving back into another hamstring stretch. Option to use your strap. Place your strap around that right foot. Hold in there. We've got the option here to scissor or stay as you are. Bending the knee and release both feet down. Okay, so if you have a book or a brick or a bolster or a cushion, place your brick to the top of your mat, and we're going to really open into the top of the back. So slowly coming down onto the forearms, and you may just need to reposition your brick so that you get it in the right place, bringing it up towards the shoulder blades, and then slowly dropping the head back, bringing the soles of the feet together. I personally like to have my arms all the way up above the head, so goalpost arms. And if you've not got anything to place underneath your back, have the back straight and just bring the soles of the feet together. Goalpost the arms up above the head. Just staying here for a few more breaths, breathing in deeply. Exhale fully. And again, breathing in deeply. Exhale fully. Bringing yourself up onto both forearms, removing the brick away. One of my favorite stretches to finish. We're going to take a shoelace. Great stretch for the piriformis. Stacking the left leg on top of the right. We have an option to just feed those knees in and be there. Or we can grab the outer legs, pull the legs in towards you. If you can reach the outer feet, grab the outer feet, and then sort of pulling your shoelace out towards the sides. So grabbing hold of that right foot and pulling all the way out to the left. Grabbing hold of the left foot, pulling out to the right. A little bit like a cracker. Let's switch it over. Pull the shoelace or pull the cracker, however you would like to imagine it. Wonderful, guys. Grabbing at the back of the legs, rocking all the way up into a seated pose. So finding a cross seat. Take a big inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, hands all the way down. Well, I hope that post stretch has served your post cycle, and I shall see you on the next one.